Okay, we are back with season two of the Erica James Show made by Prophets of Rock TV. And we're launching this in the best way possible. I have the triple threat. She is a writer, she's a comedian, she acts, she is the incomparable Phoebe Robinson. Yes, I can hear you guys clapping where you are. How are you doing, Phoebe? And where are you from? Where are you doing this interview from today?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I was just suffer for a British accent, so I'm so happy.
It's
But
I'm putting it on.
I, but I'm in Brooklyn. I fly out early in the morning tomorrow to get to London. I can't wait. So I'm
Oh,
just, I'm in Brooklyn.
amazing. Well, we're so happy to have you on the show. And I know you're going to be performing at the Bill Murray, the Angel Comedy. I mean, that's just going through the roof. I think there's like a waiting list, so everyone is very anxious to see you. I mean, you know, was London on the cards? I mean, have you performed here before?
I have. So I'm really excited. This is actually my first time in London since 2019. Can you believe the before times?
Whoa,
Um,
it's a different
I
London. There's pre.
Yeah. Yeah. But when I was last there, I did stand up at the Bill Murray Club. And it's just such a great intimate space. I had the best time. So I'm really looking forward to doing it again. I'll have a show there on the 26th and 27th. And then on the 29th, I'm going to see Beyonce.
Of course, because you've been on.
Oh,
I mean, we're just so looking forward to it. I mean, your comedy just translates not only the American kind of audience, but your humor, I think, is always quite like British as well. So I'm going to stake claim you're also British as well, basically, as a newsflash.
yes.
You, like I said, you've had such an extensive career, and I know you're from Ohio originally, I believe.
Mhm, mhm.
Amazing.
Yes.
So how did you, I mean, I know this, but for our audience, what were those early stages of inspiration for you getting into comedy? Who did you analyze and were influenced by, and what made you want to take that step to getting into comedy?
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, so growing up in the Midwest, I just used to watch a lot of movies and TV shows. So I was always really obsessed. Like I was watching everything from like Martin to like West
Oh,
Wing to
Martin, that's a
Felicity.
classic. Yeah.
It's such a classic, so funny. But I never really like thought of a career in comedy. I just
Oh,
was always
really?
like, I guess, a funny person, and I would make people laugh in school. And I wasn't a class clown because I had self-respect. I wasn't desperate, but I
Ah,
really did. I really did have fun. But I really wanted to be a screenwriter and write serious dramas. Like I thought that was
dramas.
going to be
Wow.
my yeah, and
What
I
were
thought
some
that was
of
gonna
your
be my
favorite
destiny.
dramas?
Oh my gosh, I loved like anything from like the 70s. So of course I love like Godfather, I love French Connection, but I love like, American Beauty, just like all these things that are like heavy.
Mhm.
And then I went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn and graduated in 2006. And I was working at a couple of film companies and it was nice, but I definitely felt like it wasn't in line with my spirit. And my good college friend, she was like, "Oh, I want to take a stand-up class." And I was like, "Really?" Like I never really like I knew about like Chris Rock and Margaret Cho and all those people, but I was always like, stand-up's like not a real job.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe in it if you don't have people around you that did it. So how's that jump, I guess, from knowing literally no one doing stand up to deciding to sign up for a stand up class? I mean, that takes a lot of guts, Phoebe.
Yeah, I mean, I did improv in college, so I had enough experience being on stage. And my parents are very supportive. Like they just wanted my brother and I to really just do the things that were going to make us happy.
Beautiful.
And so I was like, yeah, I was like, all right, I'll just keep this day job and I'll take the stand-up class. It'll be a fun 8 weeks and then like whatever. And I fell in love with it and I just started hanging out at comedy clubs. So like I would hang out at like Caroline's and I would just like watch Bill Burr or watch Kevin Hart or Patrice O'Neill and Jimmy Garoppolo. And I just fell in love with it. So then I just did my homework and I was like listening to albums, watching stand-up specials. And it just like overnight, I love doing myself homework and nerding out on things. So
Oh,
I really just fell in love with stand-up.
Amazing. And it fell right in love with you because literally you can tell when you're watching you on stage, like you are just in your zone and it's just joke after joke after joke. Your timing and everything like that just translates so well. Like so many people, I was such a fan of, Two Dope Queens with you and Jessica, and your book, Please Don't Sit on My Bed with Outside Clothes. I mean, that's something that's across the diaspora. And so, would you say those things in terms of observing culture? That's what inspires you. Like, how do you approach like your stand up? How do you pull all your various experiences together to do a routine? Because it's going to be a lot of aspiring comedians and writers that are listening and wanting to know from the queen, how does it go?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing stand-up for 15 years now. I started July 2008. And I think I had a journey in sort of like self-confidence because when you start off doing stand-up, I mean, you're watching legends like Chris Rock and Wanda Sykes. You're like, I want to be that good one day. And so it's a lot of like baby steps. But now, 15 years, and I really found my confidence. I found my footing. I know what I want to talk about. I think the biggest change for me is just having fun. I think it's so easy when you're on stage to be like, just like, is this joke working? Is that joke working? Should I change this punchline? Is that punchline? How's the audience receiving me? And like, I think sometimes the audience can tell if you're not fully present and locked in.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I was like, no matter what, I'm gonna have fun. If I mess up the line on the joke, we don't know.
Yeah.
Only I know. So
It's
I like don't need to panic or freak out and just have fun. I think I've been really grateful with the audience that's sort of cultivated from Peter Queens and so many white guys in my books. Like it's a lot of like really smart, like proactive young people, older people, just really like sorry, there's a little siren going by. Um
I mean,
and I just really felt like now I'm in a place where I'm like, I'm having the most fun I've ever had doing stand-up, ever.
no, you can tell it. I mean, you basically had me in stitches. I think it was just after the pandemic when you were getting a new personal assistant. I don't know if you remember, but literally it was like 25 like live shorts of just like unboxing things, and you just really active on social. And I know you've recently, I think this morning you did your run. So I've been keeping up with like your running.
Yes,
Yes, I mean,
I
listen,
did.
that's
Yes.
incredible. How is that? Like that must just refresh you every morning. I mean, how's it going? You're inspiring me. I'm of all things, I'm doing basketball now. I just want to do more activities. And so how does that improve and help your well-being? It must be so uplifting to keep that going.
Yeah, I think, certainly with COVID, everyone was inside. And so now it's great to just be outside and have fun and have a
Yeah,
hobby. And, I'm a person that tends to overthink. Like I'm always like, what about this? What about that? What
I'm
about this?
part of that crew.
Yeah. And I find like, and I tried running in the past and it's just too hard for me. I just wasn't in the right place first mentally. And I
Mm,
think what's so great about running is like you can really kind of only focus on that. Like you can't be like, I gotta answer this email and blah blah blah. Like you're just trying to be like get through those tough moments. And so my goal for next year is to run a half marathon.
Oh,
So
I see it. I see. I know you're gonna do that. Like I can just see that. Amazing. You can do it. Just
thank
keep
you.
doing it. Amazing. And you mentioned also that on social media, but one thing that made me such a fan of yours is because I belong to the YouTube fans as well. I love U2 so much. What's your favorite U2 song? Let's just get that out of the way because we prophets of rock, so we're rock and roll. But what's your favorite U2 song?
Oh my God, that's so hard. Can I do my favorite order of three songs?
You can do anything you want, Phoebe. It's your world.
I will say the first three songs on the Joshua Tree album. That is to me is
Mm.
a perfect order. It's a perfect order.
Round of applause, right?
Oh my God.
Round of applause. The writing, singing. Bono is one of the best front people. And I know that he also surprised you for your birthday. So what was that like, Phoebe? That must have been a dream realized.
That was it was so crazy. So I recently joined the advisory board for Red, which has been really exciting.
Oh,
It's one of his
congratulations.
nonprofits.
That's amazing.
Thank you. It's one of his nonprofits, and I think I'm also inspired because my brother is constantly been in the nonprofit world, so it's been really good to sort of use my sense of humor for something good.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like we were all just like having like a chill cocktail afternoon. I just come back from shooting some work in Atlanta, and I was like, okay, this would be like an easy, low level day. And I was talking to one of my girlfriends who was with me, and I was like, why is everyone moving around? What's going around? What's happening? And
Friends
I
give
turned,
it
I
away.
see, yeah, and I turned to see Bono holding a birthday cake, and he just started singing happy birthday to me. And I was like, this feels like my wedding.
No way. That must have honestly, like, oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when you saw your hero literally with a birthday cake?
I think for like the first half second, I kind of blacked out because I was like, this is wild. And then I was just sort of like, girl, when you were like 15 in your bedroom in Cleveland, Ohio, just singing along to their songs,
Listening
did
to
you
With or
ever
Without
think,
You.
yes, did you think you were going to be in this moment just like favorite and like a couple people took videos of it and so I have that, but it was so surreal. He's just been such a great like mentor and just an inspiration, and so it was a really really sweet moment.
Oh, well, that's amazing. I mean, as excited as you are, he should be excited for meeting you because you are very, very talented. And just like he's inspired people, you are inspiring so many people. So well done to you. And for me, I'll throw the question back to myself. My favorite is I don't know if you remember, it's not the bigger ones, but Stuck in a Moment.
Love that song. It's a great
I
song.
love it. The meaning of that song, because I know he was good friends with Michael Hutchence from
Yeah.
INXS. I love that song. And obviously I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Those two are like my favorite ones. It's
There's
karaoke down for me.
yes, I
Yeah,
love that.
definitely. Amazing. I mean, what are you listening to other than you two these days? I mean, I've been stuck on Renaissance. I think I've watched every live stream, but
Yeah.
what do you listen to when you're running and getting pumped up in terms of writing? Like, is there anything that you're enjoying recently?
Yeah. When I'm running, it's Beyonce, Kendrick
Mm,
Lamar, YouTube, Royce and Murphy,
good choice.
anything that's gonna get me. Oh, Laura Mavala. Do you know her?
Who?
She's fantastic. Laura Mavala,
Oh,
Mvula.
Lauren
She's really cool.
Mother. Yes.
Oh, Mavala, yeah, she's
Yeah, I probably do
fantastic.
not pronounce it, but she's wonderful. She's
Yeah, she's
wonderful.
incredible.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
amazing
yeah.
stuff. No, definitely. She's so talented. We've got a great
Yeah.
scene here in terms of music. So I'm so happy that you're tapped into that. And Ray as well. Do you know of Ray? Yeah,
No.
she's a great songwriter. She actually wrote on The Lion King, Beyonce's edition of The Lion King.
Cool.
She co-wrote a song called Bigger, and she has a song called Escapism that's out right now. I think it went number one not too long ago. Check her out. She's amazing, a British
Okay, thank you for
songwriter.
that. I
No,
love
you're
that.
welcome. No worries at all. And so, you started off in comedy. You've branched into so many different things. I mean, I've also learned of you from not only the Two Dope Queens, but your work with Broad City as well. You've been so heavy into the development and the writing of so many late night spaces. How have you found that? Because Phoebe, it just seems like you go from strength to strength to strength, and being a black woman, I'm being othered in any way is challenging. But how have you found being sometimes the only person that may look like you in certain spaces, having to stand up and use your voice? Did you find it easy from the beginning? Is stepping into your voice and authentic power something that you always knew how to do? I mean, what was it? What has it been like for you? Because I'm really curious. I work in TV. I'm an assistant producer here in TV and radio. But I'm so curious to know what your experiences have been across the pond.
I mean, I think I'm just a curious person, so if I like something, I want to know everything about it. And so I like to immerse myself, whether it's the writing, it's the producing, and it's edit, so I can understand how an editor put something together and they can choose the best pay.
Yeah.
I think it's like with any industry, when you're a woman of color, you sort of have to find your footing and find your confidence and, look for people who look like you, but then also maybe like a white guy who's like going to help guide you too and like open doors for you that would normally might be a little closed for you.
Mhm.
But I think what's happening right now, well, I mean, we do have the writer strike going on right now.
Yes.
So it's a
Come
very
across
sort
that.
of it's a very stressful time. I'm sure the actors are going to strike later this month. So I think what I'm encouraged by is I feel like everyone is sort of going, no, we're going to stand up for ourselves. And like, yes, we're not an executive, but what we do matters and is an important part of this industry. And so I think what I've been feeling lately is so inspired, so encouraged. And I really do feel like people, regardless of race, orientation, and most importantly, like class, are sort of coming together. Because I think the last time there was the strike, I think, you know, some of the showrunners or people who are like really set, like we're sort of like, well, why are you guys striking? Like, what's the big deal? And I think now, like, there's more unity. Like, this was the biggest percentage of people to say yes ever for a strike. And
So,
I think that just yeah, it just proves that like, hey, we all have to be in this together if we want things to change. And so hopefully that the strike would make things change. And then I'm just encouraged by seeing people like Issa Rae and Quinta Brunson and just there's so many amazing, brilliant women doing great work right now. So I hope that that continues and is not a trend, which I think sometimes can happen. So I think we just kind of have to like keep like doing it. Like even seeing like Shonda Rhimes, like all her shows get these massive ratings, which
yes.
is incredible. And so it's like having her, and Mindy Kaling, and Lisa, all these different women. I think it's really really important that we just keep our foot on the gas pedal.
Absolutely. No, I agree with everything you said. And I've just felt so galvanized by it, just watching everyone on that strike. And, there's no reason why, without our writers, we don't have these shows. Writers are the backbone of our television, of our films. And so I'm happy to see even people such as I know you've interviewed with her and Drew Barrymore taking
Yeah,
certain stances that she's taken recently with, I think, the movie awards and
yeah.
it's really encouraging to see because our writers should be compensated for the brilliant work that they do. And so what
Fingers
kind
crossed.
yes, no, definitely. We writers are everything and it's you should be compensated for the time it takes to create these worlds and these characters. So I'm all for the writers and I hope that that same energy comes here. Because I think there's been a shift, I think with people just seeing the way that, for example, Black Lives Matter and the movement and the energy where so many people of different backgrounds came together. I think that's just inspiring people to speak out for their own, wherever they're from or for whatever incentive. So I'm encouraged. That's the way that change is going to come about. Freedom is not going to come. Change isn't going to come until we demand it. So that's
Amen, sister.
that's yeah, and so I just want to, just start back into the projects that we can look out for. I know that in April the tour started and it ends in Minneapolis in December as well.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, it's called
amazing.
the Messy. Yeah, it's called the Messy AF Tour. Tickets are
Mm-hmm.
available on phoeberobinson.com.
Amazing.
It's affordable. We all know that there's a lot going on financially. I want people to have a good time,
Mm-hmm.
not break the bank, and I'm single now and having my own business, especially during a strike. So I'll be talking about like lots of funny things and
Of
yeah,
course.
I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope that people have a great time. And then also my imprint, Tiny Reparations Books. We have
Ooh,
6 books coming out this year, so
yes.
yeah, it's really exciting, including a memoir from Reggie Watts, who's like this brilliant comedian and musician. So yeah, I'm really feeling so inspired and creatively fertile.
Amazing. So you single in terms of like single, sorry.
Yeah, I'm single, all the way single. Oh,
Listen,
am I back?
Listen, come London, we're gonna roam these streets. Okay? We gotta have us a good time.
Okay, yeah.
Listen, this is our time to step into our authentic power. Trust me. These roads are waiting.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I see you. Listen, we're okay. We're good. Um,
Yes.
but no, definitely back to just pivoting back. No, it's really great to see you on tour and doing your thing, and you're inspiring so many people. Just in the lead up to this interview, I've had people say, "What, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe?" It's just going to continue to rise for you, and I'm just so happy. Everyone, check out her website. Check out her Instagram. Where can we follow you on Instagram? Is it Phoebe Robinson?
At Dope Queen Thebes, P as in Paul, H E as in boy, as in Sam. Super fun. I have a series on Instagram called Thirsty Thursdays where I just write about hot male
Oh,
celebs that I am in love with. So
we can't.
that'll be fun.
We can listen to the perpetually parched. We cannot let this space go without talking about that. I mean, I know people that are like, Thursdays, we're going on Instagram, we're going to see Phoebe's who the lineup is. I mean, who listen. It's amazing to just have, I think you've just allowed people to just feel very open about thirsting because the guys do. The guys do it. Let
Yes.
us have some fun. So who are you thirsting over at this moment in terms of like, is
I
there like an
mean,
actor? Is there anyone that you're like, we get cast in this rom-com?
yes. Pedro Pascal, of course. Everyone loves Pedro, but I saw the Banshees of Inisherin, and Colin Farrell is so good in it. And then it was a screening, so they did a Q&A with him and Brandon Gleeson, and I was like, and it's like really painful. So that was like, yeah, those two are my top two right now.
Amazing. I mean, for me, I think it's got to be Luke James.
Ooh,
Yes, I think he's
I
he's
like that.
just very good. And there's another singer called Paolo Nutini.
Mm,
Yes, check
I
him
don't
out.
know. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna check them out for sure.
Beautiful voice, beautiful Italian. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm.
those are those two. But no, just closing up. Listen, everyone, check out her writing, check out her books, check out this amazingly brilliant tour. And it's just been a pleasure. We're just going to keep it short and sweet. It's just been a pleasure speaking with you, Phoebe. Any other projects on the horizon that you want to talk about? We're really pushing this tour right now. Um,
It's the tour, but it's a year of stand up, so it's all about this tour.
yeah, is the year of stand up. Support Black women, support Black tours and shows. And because, listen, we're all telling our universal themes and truth. So check her out. And if she's in a city near you, town, go and see Phoebe. She's one of the best comedians of my generation, for real, for real. All right.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
I mean it. Trust me, you are. You get busy on that microphone. I've seen.
I try. I
No
try.
worries. All right. Thank you. We're gonna cut this now.
Same.
Bye. Okay. Let me just off.